I'm grateful for this game for how much it's just been there for me, and it's just I look at the values that this game leaves me with, and it reminds me of the exemplary person that I
strive to be. There we go. That's so beautiful, Jib. Hey, what is up, everyone? Me llamo Rizo, aka Aethel Wolf, and welcome to the Video Game Podcast, the podcast where we talk about video games and why they are important to us as gamers. Today, I have with me one of the most important guests we will ever have on this podcast. Not just is he my gaming brother, but he is my literal real-life brother in real life. Welcome, everyone, to Jivaroon. What is up, Jivaroon? How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm really, really good. Thank you. I'm excited to talk about video games. I'm excited to talk about. I've had just a bit of a precursor as to what this podcast is going to be about, so I'm really excited to just share my story with gaming, how it impacts me to this day, and how I think it's going to keep impacting me just for the rest of my life.
That's actually really cool. I don't know if I've had anyone on here yet who's talked about maybe the future and how it'll impact them. So that'll be a cool little different take.
How they'll be here for me, right? Yeah.
That's crazy. Good to know. Okay, so I already know. I want to make a list and guess the games that you're going to talk about. I already know about two of them, but you're going to talk about another two games.
They're so guessable, what they're gonna. But as other questions and other topics come up, I'm sure I'll be able to come up with something that maybe you wouldn't.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. Anyways, so Jib, I ask to you the most important question of them all. Do you consider yourself to be a gamer?
Absolutely.
Why?
Okay. I would say because I truly enjoy it. I truly get enjoyment out of it, and it's something that I can spend hours doing every single day and feel good, feel complete. Any day that I don't game, it's gotta be for a reason. I was really busy doing something else. Yeah. Mind was elsewhere, Aside from that, if I'm not out with friends, if I'm not out doing something with my life, if I'm just at home, I'm gaming.
That's what you'd rather be doing. That makes sense.
Not even YouTube, not even anime. I love all those. But gaming first. Only if I truly can't find an anime to watch only if I truly can't find a game to play. I can't find... Not sure what I'm looking for.
Because that happens. I feel like we all go into sometimes those little phases where you're like, I have no idea what I want to game right now. I do want to game, but I'm just and then you do the thing where you look up a bunch of games, maybe download a bunch of them, try all of them, and you're just I'm not feeling any of these, but I want to get into a game. Or I'm feeling all of them, and because of that, I have no idea what I want to play.
Yeah.
It's so relatable. Obviously, we all get enjoyment out of video games. We all have this this is the comfy zone, right? That's we all as gamers. I think we can all agree they're fun. It's not the main for some people maybe they don't play them just because they're fun. That'd be crazy. But for the most part, we can agree video games are fun.
Yeah.
Why are they so important to you? Does it go any deeper than just it's fun? And that's an okay answer. If that's what it is, it's just they're fun and they're always there for me. But have they ever impacted your life in a deeper, more significant way? Or is it always just one thing was it's just kind of nice to just always have that fun thing to go to?
So it's a little bit of both. Now that I'm a little older, it's just it's just that fun thing that I go to. And I do have games that still wow me. Dang, what an experience that was. And I think it's something that I can go to where I'm transported to another world.
Yeah.
So that's what I really enjoy about it, when I really get immersed into something, and it's just I don't know, I forget that I'm living real life. Even if, I love my life. Life is great, but it's just it's just for something new. I want to go and be transported into this other universe where, I don't know, I can be a magician and just slay monsters, or I don't want to spoil too much about the upcoming video games that I'm going to talk about. You know, just
Interesting,
live in that world,
interesting.
you know. So
Okay, no,
and
that's
then,
fair. That's
but,
fair.
but definitely, it brings me a sense of comfort because it's something that I've grown up doing. There's definitely games that have impacted me and helped me become who I am today. And I think it's just one of my comfort things to go to, whether I'm...
It's a comfort thing.
know,
Yeah,
in
that's good. It's
sickness and in
your,
health.
it's your safe place.
Yep.
It's your
safe place when I'm in a good mood, safe place when I'm in a bad mood, safe place when I'm sad.
That's
it's
huge.
Just,
that's huge.
it's just somewhere I can go do something that just connects me to my past and my future versions of myself.
I don't know if other people have this, but like I know you and I've talked about sometimes just having like comfy games. You know, like this is it's a game you've played a bunch of times before. There's really nothing new going on there. You might not even be like super in the mood to play it, but if you're ever going through like a rough time or something, you just kind of load it up and you're like, this is just comfy. This is cozy. Like this is like a classic. Or even if you just need to reset, like again, like there's so many games you want to play, but you have no idea what. It's just like, okay, I'm just gonna go back to my roots. I'm gonna play this and then be like, what do I want to try? Like I know that's happened to me sometimes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Do you have? I want you like just like list maybe a couple comfy games that you have, unless they are gonna be on your list of games that you're sharing today. Do you have any comfy games?
Any other comfort games that are on my that are not
that you're
on
just
my
like
list
they're not on,
today?
you're not gonna talk about them today, but they're definitely there. Do you have any?
Man, that is a good question. I don't.
Okay, these are your comfy games. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's completely good. I was just wondering.
Mm-hmm.
I am trying to think if I have any comfy games that aren't on my list, and you know, it's actually really funny because I would have to say the same thing. I have games that are a little bit more chill, that are nice to come to, that are like, you know, more relaxed. Like you could argue like any kind of game that's like Animal Crossing style, that you know you're just kind of playing. It's just you're just vibing. But I don't know. Like a lot of my comfy games are from my childhood. Just like, you know, these are my go-tos. But yeah, which I'm gonna wait to share mine. But
I still have games I'll visit out of nostalgia's sake, like that I really enjoyed back then, and even though there might be games that can still provide me with that type of experience today, it's just something about, I don't know, I like it. It's Reckoning.
Yeah.
But I don't
classic game.
play that nearly as much as just my comfy.
Some of your other comfy games. Okay. Well, let's get to those then.
Okay.
Let's get to the goods here.
Sure.
Now, what's your memory of like one of the first video games you've ever played?
So, my first memory
That you enjoyed too, not just that you played, but you're like, man, like
played,
this was fun. Like, yeah, it was like one of the first ones.
Enjoyed.
Again, unless it's like on the list.
It's on the list.
Okay.
So we just move on.
All right. Let's just no more dilly dallying. I will let you.
Yeah,
click
I
on
can talk
it,
about my first
make it-
memory of video games as well. I can talk about some games that I just have vague memories of you kind of showing me, like Ruby we talked about. Pokemon Ruby. But yeah, no, the first one's just we can move on.
Okay, let's do it. So go ahead and click on it full screen, and then I'll turn around. Because it's been so hard to keep the temptation and not just look. Am I good to look?
Yeah.
Wait, pause it. Oh, KH. Okay, of course it had to be KH. Of course. Okay, I'm just gonna turn this off. Of course. So that the audio doesn't overlap. Actually, if you can mute the video too, just in case the desktop is picking up. Okay.
All right. Hit play.
Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 2, not KH1.
Nope.
Or any other in between. Jib, this is how this is gonna go down.
Okay.
You know, give kind of like a quick little gamer overview. If someone's never played Kingdom Hearts, they have no idea what it's about. Just give me like a quick little. It's a game. Like, just tell me what it is about, and then tell me why it's so important to you, what makes it so impactful, and why is it so good.
Okay, so type of game. Would this be considered a JRPG or action?
I'd say action. It's an action RPG, but light RPG because you don't really have too many choices.
It's got like RPG elements to it, but it's
you fight
not
stuff,
a
you level
full-blown
up.
RPG. You fight
you
stuff,
fight stuff, and you level up.
You put on abilities and
learn new moves.
It's great.
It's
a fast-paced action type of video game. That rewards you getting to know the game. It rewards you getting good, really good at the game. So that's the kind of game it is. What Kingdom Hearts itself is about, the whole franchise, you're this boy that lives in this world with his friends that wants to kind of go out and see what's out there and see what there is to explore, and then Well, you get that wish. Your world kind of gets thrown into this darkness.
Kind of a dark way to get that wish.
I know. Your world gets kind of thrown into this darkness.
Dark.
Like this ball of darkness just comes and absorbs your world. And you wake up in a new world. You journey through all these different worlds in order to find your friends again, and those worlds happen to be Disney worlds. So it's this fantastic collaboration between Square Enix and Disney.
It's
just, it's a mixture. You'd think
It's
like,
so
what the
beautiful.
heck is this? But it's like, whoa, it works. It's just cool. So
that's
that's
honestly
kind of the premise.
It's a pretty good overview. Honestly, I'd agree. I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan. That goes without saying. If y'all have seen the Wolf's Den and some things I have in the background, but I love KH so much.
Yeah.
It may or may not be on my list. You don't know which Kingdom Hearts because it could be 1, 2, 3 or Birthright Sleep. You never know. You never know. But yeah, I think you did a great job explaining it. It's a really cool mix of like, less so now, but it used to be really like Final Fantasy mixed with Disney. But now it's more its own thing. It has its own it has its own story with its own characters. There's like some light Final Fantasy sprinkled into the newer games, very very light, but it's an action RPG where you visit different Disney worlds, which is super cool.
And even
fight alongside characters, alongside different Disney characters, which I thought was super cool as a kid. So yeah. Anyways, so that's kind of a little bit of an overview.
Yeah.
What's so great about it? What's so important about it? Why is this game on your list?
Man.
When I ask you, what is one of the most influential games of your childhood? How old are you when you started it?
So,
what are some of your
one of the
memories
most
with it?
influential games. One of my first core memories that I've ever made with you when it comes to gaming. I had no idea what the story was about the first time I ever played through it, but it was just so fun and addicting to go kill these monsters and be with Donald and Goofy, and you were just kind of guiding me through it. So
I remember teaching you how to play a little bit.
It's just always gonna have that special place in my heart where it's just like I look at this game and I think of you. It's always gonna bring me to you.
So cool. That's so cool.
No matter where I am, what I'm doing, if I want to just kind of feel this connection to you and this connection to who I am, I'm just gonna be able to pop this in and play it.
That's so cool. That's so cool. It's so special, Jim. That's awesome. That is so cool.
And then it's just always just if I'm ever feeling lost, if I'm ever feeling like I'm losing my way, if I'm ever feeling like I'm losing myself a little bit, just need to go back to who I am. What do I live for?
To your roots.
What is my outview on life?
Yeah.
What character of any anime or any video game do I ever want to be like? It's Sora, without a doubt.
Why? Why Sora? What's so cool about Sora that makes you be like, I want to be like him?
I think
why?
he's just so pure. He's just so nice. He just always wants to help the world be better place.
Sora's the main character of this game, by the way.
Indeed, the main character of this game. I feel like he's very righteous, yet I feel like there's a sense of realness to him, especially in Kingdom Hearts 2. As the series has gone on, he's become maybe a little bit more... What's the word? Dumb? if that's not the right word, if anything, that's sort of a meme that became for a while. I think he's starting to lose that dumbness a little bit and get smarter again. But what I mean by realness is like, if you see his reaction, the way he reacts to everything in Kingdom Hearts 2, he does kind of react like... Whoa. I guess I feel like I can relate to his reactions, how he would react to see this 3-headed Hydra. Just like... go through all these different worlds and just I don't know, there's just something so human about him in this Disney world where you grew up in, and it's just
that's awesome.
I feel like I can really relate to that.
You do feel like you can relate to that, like being like you are in a way Sora, exploring all these different worlds. You're like, I can vibe with that. I would react like that, and I would help this person. I would try and go and do this adventure. I think that's also a really good, interesting question to ask. Like, which game is your favorite version of Sora? Like, obviously, you didn't play...
It's 2.
It goes without saying, right? You didn't play 1 too much.
But
you've obviously played
I've
3. You played
like
Dream Drop Distance. You know, like, you've played them enough to know KH2 Sora is your favorite version of Sora.
Yes.
That's amazing. Now, I don't know if this goes without saying, but is KH2 your favorite Kingdom Hearts games in the whole series? What is
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
It's
I know it.
very close.
Which one? Which one? What's it? Which one's like close?
Very close. Like it's only by like 0.2 points. Like
Wait, which one? Which one's closer?
so.
Like you're the one
It
that
is.
you're saying
It
is
is
close.
no. It is my main like my number one game. King KH3 Remind. Like just
Oh
every.
really?
and
That
now
one is close.
Now that everything with Remind is out, like there's just the only thing that Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind is missing for me to be at the level of Kingdom Hearts 2 for anyone who does know the series.
God. Wow. Yes. What?
Is what you're seeing on the screen right now. Drive
Ooh,
forms.
the drive forms.
Now,
They get rid of the drive forms.
it's not even the drive forms themselves because you do have form changes, Keyblade transformations, which are their version of it. So it's not that. It's the gameplay element that drive forms provided. The leveling up this drive form, you have to try out this different style of fighting where what you're seeing right now, you can't use any magic. You're stronger when you hit. You're faster when you hit. You don't have magic.
Can you block?
You can't. You cannot block.
Yeah, it's
so
a different kind of.
You have to get good at it, and it's very rewarding as you do get good. And the more you use it, the more you level it up, and the more you level it up, the more abilities that you get to your base form of
your
fighting.
base form.
Because you can see that form gauge on the bottom right that just went from 3 to 2. That's your timer. That's your timer. That's how long you have in this form. It is so fun to use these forms, but it's only for a time limit. You're going to spend most of your time in your black outfit, in your main outfit, and that's the form that you're going to have to master. But if you use all these other forms and level them up, you get abilities to your main form that you're going to have to master, and it just ties in so well, and that's the gameplay element that is missing in Kingdom Hearts 3. There's no leveling up these drive forms. There's no, like, you level up the situation form and it lasts longer. There's no reward to you really using it.
Yeah,
it's a cool
it's
gameplay element.
Cool
it's
gimmick,
fun.
But the drive forms, being able to level them up and use them, and then, because I also think, I know you kind of touched on this with, like, even, like, learning the new kind of style and it being, like, more difficult and whatnot. It's good. I will say, Kingdom Hearts is not necessarily a hard game unless you're playing it on critical difficulty. The moment you bump that, because I'm just saying, like I say, you're new to the series, you're hearing Gabe talk about, like, oh, these different forms, how it adds a new challenge. Yeah. You probably won't feel it if you're playing it on easy. But you play that on the hardest difficulty, changing up these different dive forms. Let's say, like, you change it to, like, a form where, like, Donald isn't with you. You don't get healed, and you can't heal yourself. Bro, that's a whole nother challenge. Like, and even then, there's the meme that Donald never heals you when you need it.
Well,
so
he'll come in clutch sometimes.
He does. I think he does. I think he's always come in clutch for me. But, anyways, that's awesome.
So yeah,
I agree.
Aside from all of that, like, Kingdom Hearts 3 is up there, and yes, Kingdom Hearts 2 Sora is still a version of him that I like more. Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora is just his friendly goofiness, happy-go-lucky on steroids a little bit.
I think they steered him more towards the Disney side.
Yeah.
I think they made him more. Let's make him more Disney-y.
Less Final Fantasy.
Yeah, while on this one he's a little bit more Final Fantasy. And then I'd say in the first one he's definitely more Final Fantasy. But then, in KH3, he's a lot more silly, goofy, happy-go-lucky.
Still then a person to aspire to be, but just,
it's still cool, for sure. But then you have characters like Riku,
cool factor,
Riku and Axel, who are just cool characters with personalities.
I hear his black outfits, but he does still have this sort of cool vibe to him.
Yeah, and I think, again, in KH3, they fluffed him, KH3, they fluffed him up a little bit. They made him more Disney-friendly, which...
Now let's see what happens with KH4. I've seen the trailer. I've seen everything. And like, whoa, there's something more Final Fantasy-ish going on here.
Yeah.
He's gonna be slightly older and more mature again. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. I hope they take that turn. But
I must say that once you are maxed out level 99 and doing all the final secret battles, Kingdom Hearts 3s are better. Kingdom Hearts 3s.
What?
For me are better because they are.
Wait, what are you talking about? Like, you mean the harder fights are better?
The end game, secret battles, the secret like lingering will versus Zora.
Yeah. You think Yuzora is tougher than Lingering Will? You think Yuzora is tougher than Lingering Will? No way! What do you mean without a doubt? Lingering Will is like the hardest.
Because you go through Lingering Will, and it's like you go through something that's so difficult, and it's just like there will never be anything as difficult again. No. I am not scared of Elden Ring. I am not scared of Dark Souls. I handle those games like it's nothing because I sat down and mastered Lingering Will and Yuzora, and. I think it's just it's not as fast paced as those actual final battles here. But so then after mastering everything with Lingering Will, any other game that I play, any other boss that I go against, it's just never as difficult as that. And I never struggle.
It'll never be the same fast paced, high octane
I never struggled to that level, and then I'm like, I don't know, how can they ever come out with something more difficult? And then they did,
That's so crazy.
To the point where I was like, I really thought walking in to Yuzora, the KH3 final secret battle, I really thought walking into that I was not going to struggle as much as Lingering Will.
That's so crazy.
And I struggled even more.
That's so crazy.
Having all the skills that I had already sharpened from KH2. So, and just how the mechanics work, and once you're all mastered out and leveled up, I do like that final version of the gameplay more. Than KH2's final version of everything, but I enjoy the journey of getting there.
Yes, I think that's huge. I think that's something huge to point out. Like, you can totally say, like, when you compare both the posts game, KH3 has a more fun, fully developed Sora, but the journey to get there, which is I think progression in games is huge. Like, for me it is. I know for a lot of gamers it is too. You want to feel like you're playing and you're getting just the right amount of little rewards, so that you feel good and you want to keep coming back and you want to keep doing this and that, and I think Kingdom Hearts is just such a beautiful game, and in Kingdom Hearts 2 does a particularly even better job at adding to that aspect of progression, like you said, because of the Triforms. That is so crazy. So is there anything else that you shared about how it had an impact with you and me, and I completely agree on that, 100% agree on that. In general, you just think it's a really fun game too.
Yes.
Is there anything else that you want to add in before I ask you the last question about this game, I guess?
I'm grateful for this game for how much it's just been there for me, and it's just, I look at the values that this game leaves me with, and it reminds me of the exemplary person that I strive to be.
There we go. That's so beautiful, Jib. Video games not just being your safe place, but really shaping you into the person that you want to be. Specifically, Cage. That's so beautiful. Okay, 2 questions. First question being, Kingdom Hearts is known story-wise to be very intimidating, confusing, and bro, what the heck is going on? Not just am I already coping with the fact that I got Final Fantasy characters in the same game as I have freaking, Winnie the Pooh. Now, how do you... Let's say they want to get into the series, but I don't know. I think it's hard to say whether or not... I think I have my answer, but I'm going to let you answer it first. How would you tell a newcomer to kind of approach this game? What's the mentality to have, and what to expect really? What any kind of advice they have for the story, how to approach that?
Okay, my advice: you have to start from the beginning. You cannot jump in anywhere else. You just can't. You can try and watch these...
This is to get the story, right?
That's to get the story, yeah. You can try and watch these videos of, what did I miss? Nope. You need to sit and watch every little bit from the beginning to the end, so that certain things and certain key moments are memorable to you. Because you need to allow your brain to slowly process all of this information. The videos that you see out there that are story recaps are great to watch after you've already played something and maybe you didn't fully get it, or maybe you kind of really need that recap after you already played through. So for the story, is it kind of convoluted? I don't even know what that word fully means, so I don't know if I can answer.
Is it complicated? It's confusing.
There's a lot that goes into it, and there's a lot that goes into it. It can be, because it leaves some things up to interpretation, and then those interpretations and those guesses that you have are confirmed a game later.
And while then leaving you with more questions. Like,
Well,
it answers the
leaving you with
questions
more
that
questions, yes.
you originally had. And it's like, okay, that answers this, but now I have so many more questions.
Yeah. So, but that's just everything gets answered little by little. Just start with Kingdom Hearts 1. Get into the world. Understand this world. Get introduced to it. Then you start KH2, and that's when you start to be like, whoa, wait, where is the story going with this? And you'll find out by the next game all the questions that you had about KH2. But that next game is only going to leave you with more questions for the future. Which is personally what I like, because it's got me hooked.
And then
it does have some very fascinating, like, whoa.
It has so many side games that if you don't play the side game, if you just...
They're
like, if you go into it,
games,
just...
They're crucial to the story.
But that's the thing, people don't know that. And the numbers don't help. The fact that there's just the Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, you're like, alright, I'll just play those. But then there's Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, and Dream Drop Distance, and Recoded, and Rechain of Memories. And, like, yes, while I agree some games like Recoded, they might not be as impactful to the story, they still matter. Or, like, Melody of Memories. Completely side spin-off game that's just like a song game. But again, it's crucial. Even though you'd be like, this has nothing... Or like the freaking phone game. I'm going off on a tangent. My point here is...
The phone game is the one point of weakness that I will give to people who don't like it. Because it's just like, there's no way that there's this level of importance on this, like... scroll through, and it's just...
That's crazy.
They need
They gotta either read,
But thankfully, if you don't know what we're talking about, this phone game, it's okay. Don't worry about it till like 10 games from the first one. Okay?
Yeah, you do not have to worry about that. But
nothing to worry about. And by then, if you're hooked enough, you'll go through the phone game story.
I actually think you did a great job at like explaining this to like a newbie in an intro, or like a way to introduce them into the series. Like I completely agree. I think it's almost like, to get into the story, it's almost like the what I like to call the Naruto effect. You know, I'm wearing the hat right now. It's kind of like, you can watch, like, if you're interested in, or like, I call it the Naruto effect, because like there's so many episodes in Naruto. It's such a long anime, and for you to get to the end and have that payoff and be like, that was such a cool experience, you have to sit there and watch everything beforehand. And yes, there's going to be times where it's going to feel sluggish. And yes, there might be some times where you're like, I don't really know, like, where this is going, or like why it can't just get to where it's trying to get to. But you end up spending so much time with the characters. You end up spending so much time, like, with all these different things that, like, by the time you finally get to the end and you find all the answers to the questions that you've been wondering the whole time, you're just like, you feel this sense of like, okay, yeah, of course, this all makes sense. It connects so nicely. But it's just like, you're over 1,000 episodes in, and you just kind of like, I don't know if there's 1,000, but you're like hundreds. You're like hundreds and hundreds of episodes in, and you're just kind of like, wow, that was so beautiful. But you had to go through that journey. And again, you could look up a video of all the different Naruto spoilers and then try and decide whether it's good or not.
Are you gonna
That's not the way to approach it.
Are you gonna start the Harry Potter series on the 5th movie? No, you're gonna go to
yeah. And again,
you know?
I would also say my advice for like the only little thing I would add to there is like, if you want to start with 2, if you want to start with 3, I personally think something you can do, if you're interested in the gameplay, you want to get a vibe for it, play it. Start with 2, start with 3, skip the cutscenes if you want, I guess. Just know you're not going to have any clue what's happening. But if you enjoyed playing Kingdom Hearts 2, you started and you're like, the gameplay's really funny. If you enjoy playing Kingdom Hearts 3, the gameplay's really fun, then I would advise, if you want to understand the story, go back, play KH1, or, you know, again, you can like watch the movies on YouTube, you know, watch the movie videos, you know. That's something I did with Birth by Sleep, you know, and like I've done that before. I think it's way better to play them, but the point here is for you to really fall in love with the game and the story, you got to watch all of it. As to whether it'll be super worth it or not, that's gotta just have to be up to you. I think I've had some moments where I'm like, wow, this is really cool and really worth it. While there's also been some times where I'm kind of like, okay. But again, it's a whole journey. It's a whole journey. So play the second one, play the third one. If you're iffy on it, if you enjoy the gameplay, and you want to give the story a shot, then go back to maybe the first one and go from there. Because I think if you just start off with the first one, gameplay-wise, it's not the most fun one. So like I think it would be a real shame for someone to be like, all right, I'm so ready. They play the first one, they're like, this is really mid.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to like fall in love with the gameplay, play the second one, play the third one, and then if you enjoy the series enough, you'll go back on your own to play the first one to really get in the story. But yeah, I think this is a freaking fantastic game, fantastic entry. I'm so glad that you talked about it. I'm so glad that you were the first person to talk about it on the channel.
Mm-hmm.
What? Yeah, here's the next important question, which is kind of like putting your child self and you on the spot with this thing that you love.
Okay.
But rating this game, giving it the rating that you would give it when you were a child and you played it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like just when you were a kid, like you love this game and you would be like, this was a blank out of blank. And then you come back, you play it now as a 20-something-year-old, and you're like, okay, obviously you view it a little bit differently now. You're taking like kind of like adult view, like, what is this game really, you know? And then the third question is, if a random gamer who just has no idea what the series is about, what's the very realistic, objective, like, this is probably a fair rating that most gamers could agree with it being. So go for it, Jibs.
Being a child, I would give it a 10 out of 10.
10 out of 10!
Like,
you loved it. You
my
loved everything. You're just like,
this
perfect.
is cool. What is this video gaming thing? What? Like, I'm mind blown by everything.
Yep.
And then being adult and I come back to it, I'm like, what? There's nothing like this since for me. So, like, I still would give it just that same 10, being an adult.
So even as of now, you play, you're just like, this is like a 10 out of 10 for you. That's
subjective,
so cool.
like, opinion. It's this is a 10 out of 10 for me.
That can be really hard for some people. Like, I feel like it's nowadays, it's pretty hard for some people to be able to be, like, play a game and then play it again as an adult and be like, this game is still just as good as when I played the first time. So that is so cool. That is so amazing, and that is so special. So what do you think is like a really more realistic rating?
Real objective, realistic.
You know, because at this
like
point you've
flaws,
gamed many other games.
Yeah,
you've played some other masterpieces. So judging it from like that kind of perspective of like, all right, I would have to realistically give this game a
8.5 out of 10.
8.5.
Gameplay is incredible. Story's just slow in the beginning, and if you didn't start with 1, like you could already be quite confused by 2. But 2 is still at a point where you can sort of follow along what's going on, but you're gonna have a lot of gaps. It's like, what the heck did that just mean? And some of the what the heck did that just mean is something that you can go back to the last game and find out. And some of the what the heck did that just mean, you're not gonna find out to the next game after that.
Or the side games.
The side games.
Yeah, side games.
And
really
last little
the
advice
game,
to the quote unquote newbies. I think there was an interview with the creator of the game, and basically the number titled games are the games where all the main characters' stories come together and you get to see it happen, kind of like in Avengers. So all the side titles are like the specific heroes themselves that you'll learn about. And then if you want the Avengers, where they're all together in this one place, go to the titled games.
Especially with KH3, but even in KH2 you see that. And in KH1...
It's the intro.
Yeah, it's the intro.
And that's what KH4 is about to be with the second arc.
Yeah,
it's a whole nother thing.
Whole new phase. It's a whole new phase.
That's amazing. And then just 8.5, just being very real. Like it's got some very real flaws that it just does have.
What's a flaw? What's something you're like, yeah, this could be better?
Like, it's part of its charm, but yeah, that intro's just so long. And I think there's certain elements, gameplay elements, that have been just mastered. That, like, this game started, but, like, that have been mastered in more recent games. But it's hard to really be able to describe that and put my finger on that.
I mean, also,
but
to be fair, this is a PS2
That's
game,
what I'm saying, you know,
which
it's
is
a PS2
crazy. Like, obviously,
game,
nowadays, you're going to play games that have a lot more quality of life updates that make the game a lot more easy to play. Like, other games a lot more easy to play and manage.
The 8.5 comes from that modern standard.
Some of it's showing its age in some ways, you think. Yeah.
But then if you just compare it to PS2 games, like, it's at the top. It's one of the greatest hits. It just is. So, yeah, that's where that is. I think It's just some people are gonna be quite confused with the story.
Mm.
Some people aren't gonna be about the cheesy, lighthearted Disney-ness.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's gotta appeal to you if you're gonna.
You'll know.
You'll know.
You'll play it and you'll be like, "This is cute. I'm into this," and then you'll get, you might get sucked in, or you'll play it and you'll be like, "Gameplay's fun. Not sure if the story's really for me," or yeah, you'll play and be like, "I don't know. I think objectively the gameplay is pretty fun. Like, no matter what, if you're a gamer, like you're into action games, like you'll probably like it."
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect, Jib. All right. Well, thank you so much for talking about KH. I love this game. It holds a very special place in my heart. Obviously, something that maybe when I get to my list, I'm gonna want to talk about. We'll get there. But yeah, are you ready to move on to the next game?
Absolutely. Let's go.
All right. Nope. Go ahead. The thing's right there. I will let you do it. I'm not gonna look. Because as of now, I think the next game. Oh my gosh.
I just thought of another game
Yes.
that I just want to talk about, and I'm gonna pull it up
Yeah,
real
pull up
quick.
a video.
I just
Pull
wanna
it up.
talk
Pull it up.
about.
That's okay.
I don't
That's
know
okay. That's
how
okay.
impactful, but just thought about.
You gotta talk about it, Jib. You gotta talk about it.
All right, Punch It Chewy.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It makes sense. You're actually playing this game right now.
Right now.
I love.
Like
I
am doing like my 20-something playthrough.
You are.
Right now.
You literally are. And you want to talk about PS2 games? Like, this game is old and like. Okay, so for our audio listeners, let me just really add this. I've never played this game. I am not into car games, but this was the one car game that I did play when I was younger, and I really enjoyed. I never beat it, but I do have fond memories of it. I have a bunch of crazy, great memories of just, Gabe playing this while I'm playing something else, and just like I know all the tracks to this song, or all the tracks, like the songs to this game, soundtracks, yeah. And I love it. I love it. Now for our audio listeners, can you please tell them the game, the name of the game, what it is, and then finally what makes it so special.
The name of this game is Need for Speed Underground 2, and it's a car racing game from
like
the early
no other
2000s. It's just no other.
It hasn't been replicated.
It was at the top of the whole Fast and Furious scene.
Yeah.
It's really Fast and
it gives
Furious.
off those vibes so much.
Birthed this, like Fast and Furious birthed these kind of games.
Yeah.
And man, I just don't know that other, at least more modern Need for Speeds have been quite like this. And I'm trying not to sound too much like an old head here.
People want this game though. People want a remake of this game.
I do. Look at what's the date right now? The date right now is June 12th, 2023.
Yes.
And Need for Speed Unbound is the thing that's out right now.
Yeah.
And I had a blast with it, and I'm excited for this Volume 3 update that's about to come out. We'll see what that's like. But even then, I would just give this up. Give Unbound up. Just give me a remaster. Not even a remake. You don't even have to make it with a new engine.
It. Please port it to a modern system.
Port it and somehow allow me to play online against other racers, maybe?
Would be crazy.
I don't need anything else from you, EA. You can do whatever else you want. You can just remaster it in another 15 years. That's
so crazy.
That's all I need. That's all I need. It's just fast.
You really would think that by now they would have done it already. It being so big. At least again, I'm not really into the car gaming community, but from what I've heard from Jib, this game is known as one of the legends, and people want more. People want it back.
I think it's their second best-selling Need for Speed game.
So
or their third.
What?
Maybe.
Again, car
Second
racing
or
game. Fast and Furious vibes. Why is this game so special?
Okay, so
Yeah.
this game actually comes before even Kingdom Hearts 2 for me. It is. I played this game before Kingdom Hearts 2.
Oh yeah, easily.
But I never beat it because I was too little to understand what was happening.
You did not. Yeah.
Being an older PS2
We've all
games,
been there.
you can screw yourself over to a point where you can't continue anymore. You'll run out of money.
So crazy.
You'll run out of money.
That is
and
so
you'll
crazy.
run out of races to do, so you can't get more
That's
money,
so
so you
crazy
can't
that
progress anymore.
You can actually get yourself
There's
to
a
that
term
point.
for it. You lock yourself out. I don't remember the term for it. That game ranks farther, but yeah, you can do that. So I did that to myself repeatedly. The reason for that is in order to progress through this game this game is comprised of 5 stages. It's an open world racing game. You start off in this map. This map has five sections of the map that you'll unlock. Four, really. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. But then that fourth one is split into 2. They did that. And so technically 5. You unlock the 4th stage is the half of that 4th one, and then you get the 5th one. So, oh yeah, my bad.
Oh, it's okay. We're probably good. By the
So
way,
anyway.
if you are watching, I believe this is it's not remastered footage, but it's upscaled.
It's
like,
upscaled and everything.
This isn't PS2
This
footage.
is not what it looks like. In
any
fact,
means.
this is what I wish I could get it to look like right now.
This is what it could look like on the PS3 even.
The PS3,
This isn't even like the best it could look. Like this is like, yeah, if you're like PS3
or is 3 ported it or something.
Yep.
Yeah. So
anyways.
Where was I?
Yeah, just again, like what's so like you said like.
Oh, okay. I was explaining the like
learned
mechanics
about it,
Yeah.
yeah.
So basically, in order to progress, you start off in this very first stage, the center part of the map. You got to do X amount of races to unlock the next part of the map. But you don't only have to do that number of races. You need to upgrade your car visually. Based on a star rating. That's the biggest thing that aged poorly about this game.
That's what stopped you from progressing.
And it just locked me up because I didn't know that. So because it's not explicitly told to you. You need to sort of come across it in this menu. That as a kid, that menu is confusing as heck. There's so much. It's just this. It's kind of like the stats. Like it's just all these stats and. As a 5-year-old kid living in Mexico, not speaking English all that well, I had no idea what was going on. So now it is there. It's in your face when you open that menu. It says stars achieved, star rating achieved. How cool does your car look? It's based out of a 10-star system, and each stage you have to just get that star rating up higher and higher and higher. So what happened is I'd get to about 50% through the game, and need I think a three-star level car of visual looks.
Yeah.
But I am just the kind of person that would always want to try out all these different cars and try out all these different things.
Yep.
And if you're playing the game, if you're playing the main career story mode, you're only gonna have enough money to build like 4 to 5 cars fully throughout the story.
Yeah.
So what would happen is I'd get a car, and say I need to get through 20 races in this stage, I'd get a car, use it for like 5 races. Get another car, use it for... But
and
still put money into each one of those cars. And this is something that didn't age well. You can't sell cars or you can't sell parts. So you can't get that money back to try another car. So eventually, I'd get the 20th race done. I'd be on like my 5th car of that stage that I'm just kind of trying out.
Yeah.
And then I run out of races. And then I have like not enough money. Well, okay, now what happens is you have not enough money to upgrade your car visually.
To get it to
but
that
when
rating.
I was little, I didn't even know that's what I needed to do. I would just run out of races, and I'd be like, but this sort of part of the map is still locked.
It's still locked.
I can't go there. I don't know what to do. And I remember I have this vivid memory of asking you what to do. And maybe you realized what happened.
Like, oh, you did it or something. Like, no, you beat it, I think.
You told me, it looks like you beat it. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's what I thought at the time, I guess.
But then it wasn't until finally just got older, I could speak English more and like understand things more and comprehend things a little more. I think the first time I ever beat this game.
How many years later after your first run?
I first ever played this game when it came out in 2004 when I was 5.
That's so crazy.
I didn't beat this game until I was about 11 or 12.
That's crazy. 6 years
and
about.
And it felt like a major accomplishment.
Wow.
Like,
oh yeah, that's
crap.
huge.
I was like, oh my god, I went back and finished this unfinished part of my life. So that's what it is. That's what the gameplay loop looks like for this game.
Yeah. No, that's amazing. I again, even as someone who's not into car games at all, I have really fun memories of when I did dink around with this game and play it. It felt RPG-like because it was cool for me to have my car, do the races, get some money, make it look cool, make it look how I want it to look. Like that was what was fun for me. Like customizing my car, making it feel like it's leveling up, it's getting cooler. It's like cool. Gabe would be like, now you can afford to get another car. So I'd go buy another car. Now it's like, oh, which car do I want to use for this race? Like again, and that's me not even being a guy who enjoys car games, but I mean, he was like 5 or 6. I must have been like
7 or 8.
Yeah, 7 or 8, 8 or 9, whatever. So amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And yeah, you're right. This doesn't surprise me. This was gonna be my probably my next guess for the game that you were gonna have on here. The next game that you have, because I know your final game. I have no idea what this next one can be. I'm sure I'll see it. I'm like, of course, you know. But like, all I'm thinking right now is I don't even know. But see, again, I have no clue what it's gonna be. So wait, I guess yeah. Sorry. Before we move on
from this game, the last thing I want to mention, like, the thing I think this game has so well, and also honestly, even though Need for Speed Carbon is shorter, it still has it, and Need for Speed Most Wanted, they lost some of the customization, the level of customization that this game had, but it still has it. Is how well it trickles progression to you. It trickles it very, very well. Which is just the same RPG element that I love from RPG games.
Yeah.
And Kingdom Hearts 2, it's just, you start off with this slow car, and you win this race, and you make no money, and you can barely afford a cool stuff, but then just as you go, and you go, and you go, you get more and more and more, and you know, the beginning, what you started with to what you're ending with, that it's just trickled in there so well. There is exploration benefits to exploring the map, because as you explore the map, you're not told where your shops are. You're not told where your shops to put parts for your car in. So you have to, the moment you, like, this is so cool for the first time you play the game, you get to this new stage and it's like, oh my god, let me go to this part of the map that's been locked out of, like, I haven't been able to go to for the last 5 hours.
Yeah.
And let me go see what it looks like. And as a little kid, it's just mind-boggling to you. It's like a whole new world that opens up.
It's a new city.
And I gotta go and find this shop, because once I find this shop, I unlock stuff just from finding the shop.
That's awesome.
Like, you're kidding me.
That's awesome.
That's a feeling that I miss from this old game, because now in most modern Need for Speed games and car games, you just have your main hub shop garage that you go to, and you can do everything there, performance and visuals, and it is easier.
It's not like, oh, I have to get to this new shop to unlock new things. It's more so like, you can see everything.
You
just
see everything just sort of gets to you.
Unlock it, right?
Yep. And it just gets.
It
does make it easier, because it's just like, you know,
it's
if you're someone
that
who
mystery
wants,
though now, right?
it just it gets rid of the mystery, but also the thing that I do see is, now that I've played this game over and over and over, sometimes I just want to upgrade my car in a certain way really quickly. It's like, okay, let me go to the performance shop. Okay, now let me go to the specialty shop. Now let me go. I actually still adore that. For me, it's such an experience of that I feel like it would be in real life. Like, okay, let me go here and buy this performance upgrade. Now this shop specifically for this. Now this shop specifically. I adore that, but I understand.
You still love playing in that mode, don't you?
Yeah.
You still do.
No, I do still. No, I play the third person mode.
Is that where you're inside the car? No. Third person's
outside.
My bad.
I play first person or like cockpit in games that have it. That hood view, I never really.
You never really did.
Never really did. I'd like to see my car. If
maybe it was me then.
I think maybe it was you. Maybe but for me, playing in that hood view like that, it's gotta be either the cockpit where I'm actually inside of the car.
Really quick for audio listeners,
Yeah.
on the screen right now, it's like a camera angle that's not inside of the car, but you can just see the hood. That's what it means.
You can see the hood, yeah. To see the hood and what's in
It's like
front of
zoomed
you.
in, yeah.
So, I never played that one myself, but so I personally still love it. But there's a big portion of the Need for Speed community that is like,
they're not into it.
No, thank
Really?
goodness it's all just in one place now for simplicity's sake, and I'm just like, okay, no.
Oh, fair, you
Look,
get it.
It's just a democracy that we live in. So that's what people prefer. I understand. I'm a little sad.
What would you say are like one or two key things? Kind of like with KH2 in the Drive forums, they're just like, bro, this is what makes this game like. What is it about Underground 2?
I think it's already. Yeah, I think it's.
Is it anything new? Or is it you already basically?
I think I already talked about it.
Which is what?
The level of exploration and the reward that you get from exploring the maps, and how well everything is trickled to you progression-wise.
Yeah.
Admittedly, Unbound and Heat did a little better.
Really?
Yeah, they did. So I do give them credit for that as well.
I know a game I wanted to ask. It's a car game that I thought might have made it on this list. Midnight Club. I feel like you played a lot of it.
It's just this takes slightly priority over it, but yeah, you
Is it
mentioned
second?
that, and
Is it a hot second?
It is my second favorite racing game of all time.
That's so great. Midnight Club, which
LA.
one? Midnight Club LA.
And I know there's a big part of the community, car playing community, is gonna be like, why not Midnight Club 3? Because I just never beat it. Maybe I would have been in that boat if I had beat it and played it all the way through.
Which one's newer? LA.
LA is later than 3. 3 is Midnight Club 3, and then I don't think there was.
Did you not play the other Midnight Clubs, like 2 and 1 and 2?
I tried going back to 2 and 1, but I just kind of failed to really get into them.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, it's fair.
That's just me. I've always struggled to go back to older games. But yeah, Midnight Club LA. Oh my God! Like it's just. I guess I just didn't think about it.
I know, it's okay.
I failed, but
it could have been an honorable mention. It could have been
Oh my God!
And
that
it's
is
another
a
game that
is
in another podcast, if you want to be like, I need to talk about why, we'll get there. But
sure.
Coming back to Underground 2, what is the rating that you would give it? Give it the ratings. The same ones that you for Cage. What are the ratings?
10 little kid, 10 now.
That's crazy.
And I think a very real rating that the most of the community would still give it right now.
For car community, yeah.
A 9.
A 9. Yeah,
A 9.
that
The only thing
adds
really
up.
holding it back being that it's a PS2 game and there's certain elements that are made better now, but it's just still, most people would still give this a 9.
That's amazing.
There's a lot of people that still want cops that that this doesn't have. That Most Wanted introduces in the next title after.
How do you feel about cops in car games?
They're cool. Yeah, no,
it is a cool
definitely
addition.
it is a cool addition, and it's just I don't know how the world and how Underground 2 would be impacted if they had Most Wanted cops in there. Because I feel like Underground 2 goes for this chill vibe. You're in this parallel universe where I don't know, just street racing somehow not illegal and there's no cops and you're just sort of chill. But then there's this certain thrill that the Need for Speed Most Wanted cops
to getting
give you.
Getting chased by cops.
There's real punishment.
I was gonna ask, do you have much to lose?
There is real punishment.
So wait, for what game is that?
That is Most Wanted.
Okay, so let's put a pin on it.
Okay.
Because we're definitely gonna have to talk about those, and we spent a good amount of time on this one.
Okay.
And it's also because we're going off on slight tangents, but this is good. This means that you have more games to talk about when you come back.
Real punishment for cops in these older games that these newer games don't really.
They don't add up. They don't add up. Jim wants to be punished for cars.
It's
okay. Beautiful. Hit me with the ratings.
I did.
Oh, you already did. Yeah, so sorry. Yeah,
10,
you said
10,
10, and a 9. No, that's perfect. That's perfect. All right. Again, for me, what this game means to me is it's just you. You know, it's you in my childhood. Like, he's literally playing this game to this day in 2023, and I'm playing, other games next to him, and I'm listening to the songs. I'm just vibing with it. I'm just
this is my comfort car game.
I'm just vibing. So, it holds a very special place in my heart, even though I never played it, so...
And yeah.
All right. Next game. Okay, this is the
next
one.
Question.
All
Okay.
right. Good. 3, 2, 1. Ah! Oh my gosh, I love these games so much. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. What a freaking gem. What a freaking gem of a game that people need to just love so that they make so many more of them.
I need
kind of
more.
like they
I
did.
need more.
Yeah, because they did gave us one on the Switch, which is for me was just so good.
In COVID days.
And we need more of that. So, all right, Jib. For those who don't know, what is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon? Which one is this one?
So
because there's a couple of them. And wow, why is it special to you?
Oh, okay. Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. It's a Pokemon game. How would you call it? It's like a dungeon type of... How would you call this kind of game style? I mean...
It's so unique.
I don't know the official term
for
it, but...
I mean, I would say it's like a dungeon crawler. I don't know dungeon crawler. You... Just explain what you do in the game.
I'll explain
what you do in the game.
So... You choose. First of all, I adore this. The game starts off. Oh, it's just such the cutest, sweetest vibes. Pokemon are just so cute. It has that same touch of innocence that Kingdom Hearts does. That it's just this cute, innocent, just
It really does.
Happy feels, but the story can get real and deep, and it hits you hard. And there has
Explorers of Sky.
There has not been
Explorers
one
of
of these
Dark,
games
man.
that I beat it and I'm not sort of tearing up at the end because I can't say what happens.
That's so It's
But
so
you just
That's
tear
actually
up.
so
You
true.
tear up and you fall in love
That's
with these
so
characters
true.
and these
That's so
Pokemon
true.
and this
You feel that. You get in your feels.
And I think this is what I'm gonna get into again. I think when we go to Mexico, I think just for the absolute heck of it, maybe. Anyway, maybe. Anyway,
so what's
you
the
start
gameplay?
off the game.
Tell me about the
you
gameplay.
start
a
off
little
the
bit.
game, and you get these. It's a questionnaire. It's sort of this Harry Potter.
Yeah.
What house are you?
Yeah, literally.
It says what Pokemon are you and why, and you get all these questions and you answer them, and you get it's chosen for you what Pokemon you are going to be, because here you're gonna take on the role as a Pokemon that's gonna be your main character, and you're transported into this Pokemon world.
Yeah.
And you're gonna meet your best friend that's another Pokemon,
Yeah.
and you're gonna go through all of these adventures together.
Yeah, you
to
are.
save the world eventually.
Yeah.
Tell
me a little bit about the gameplay then.
So yeah, you hop in, you meet your first person, and the gameplay progresses, like the story progresses, and in order for the story to progress, you need to complete these what are called dungeons. It's basically you go into this cave. It's like a floor. It's all randomized.
Randomly generated.
It's randomly generated what the floor layout is going to be.
Yep.
And you want to find the stairs to move on to the next floor.
They have this similar to Persona 3 if you play the Persona games.
And
Yes.
so as you're progressing through the floors, though, you encounter other wild enemy Pokemon that you're gonna fight. Now it is still like a turn basis, but it's just much more.
It's semi turn based.
It's semi turn based, but it's much more fast paced.
Yeah, because it's a really interesting mix, and they kind of this is kind of like its own little genre, I'd say, but it is pretty much turn based, but it feels a little different.
Because
that's
you
probably
can
the
hit
best way to
from
describe
because there
it.
are some things that imagine a grid style a little bit, like it does have a grid style sort of like feature.
I know what I want to say.
You can aim from far away.
It's almost like a Fire Emblem in a way.
Mm-hmm.
You have a grid. You can move around your characters. You can have them do different moves. You can have it so that your party members do their own moves. You can Can you choose the moves of your party members? No.
You can choose how they
you
their
can choose how they
tactics,
act.
whether the moment an enemy gets near you guys, they just go after it and attack it, or if they're just gonna not do anything until you attack, or if you just want them to run away and get away from this area.
Yeah.
So, but what's really cool, it's not like just like, so you're crawling around and you see this enemy from far away. What's really cool is that certain moves that, like in a regular Pokemon game, it's just flamethrower, it's just a special attack. You just use it and it's just a special move. Well, here, it's a ranged move. It's a long distance move. Yeah. So because the game does get tough down the line.
Oh my gosh.
It can get tough, and it's you need to strategize in a way that with Pokemon,
you will get
the main story, like the main games, you don't have to strategize them to this level. So
I mean, unless you're talking about the older gens, like honestly,
the older
Pokemon's
gens,
pretty
yeah,
easy.
but like
Pokemon's pretty easy.
So yes, I agree with that. So well here, like as you progress, you need to strategize. You need to have different typings in your team still. You need to have long range move, close range moves, and the bosses are tough.
Oh and I love that though. That's how it should be.
So there's certain advantages. It's just like, you know what? I messed up by walking into this dungeon that's too high level for me, but I brought valuable items that if I quit or if I die, I lose them, and I was so dumb. And I was so dumb because I didn't save before walking in, so I can't just shut off my game and turn it back on. So there are some stakes. And sometimes it's gonna save you just having that long range.
All you need is an escape orb, Jib. That's how you need it.
And those escape orbs are very valuable, and you don't always just find them. You don't always have them. They're pretty valuable.
Like the older that I got, I always you gotta have a couple. At all times. You just gotta have one on you or two on you at all times.
At least 3,
especially if it gets sticky.
Exactly, freaking sticky. That's why you need 3. Because they're either going to get stickied, or they're going to get destroyed, or they're going to get stolen. So you need to have like 3 to 4 And they're so valuable and so rare, and it's just
I love
freaking
that
sticky,
for
man.
those who have no idea what that means, like I don't even want to get into it. Like it's you don't need to know.
It's
just know
a way that they can be taken away from you.
Yeah, it can get sticky, it can get destroyed, it can get stolen, and you just need a couple of these because with these escape orbs, you can essentially leave the dungeon without losing anything that you gained during it.
They will come in handy, especially just later.
So it's such an amazing.
That's
game.
what the gameplay looks like.
Yeah.
The gameplay loop looks like. You finish the dungeon and the story progresses.
It
feels it's well done because it's like come here and save my baby at the end of this cave.
Yeah.
And you enter this cave and the cave is a dungeon.
So I do want to add to like just like the gameplay portion a little bit more. Just like it's very RPG like. You have your Pokemon. They level up as you're killing defeating other Pokemon. They learn new moves. It
rewards you for grinding.
It does reward you for grinding. So
if you're having too much trouble, like the game's getting difficult, just sit there and grind.
My favorite thing about this game is the recruitment system. I absolutely love it. You're kind of like building your team, your mystery dungeon team, your exploring team, right? And the two permanent characters that you cannot remove are you and your best friend, Pokemon. But you have two other slots that you can fill in with whatever other Pokemon exists in the game.
Yep.
Later in the game, post game, you can eventually. Oh my gosh, it's so satisfying. But we'll get to that later. Because you can completely change up your party to have any 4 Pokemon that you want. It doesn't have to be your main character and best buddy anymore. But that's post game. That's post game. But
and this game has such good.
I know, JF. I know the reward is insane. The reward is insane. But my favorite part was like every time I'd get to like a new dungeon, it'd be like I need to recruit every single Pokemon in this dungeon. I don't know. I wanted to. I loved it, and it was kind of like in Pokemon I never felt too inclined to gotta catch them all, but in this one I wanted to catch all my little buddies
because in a way you could play as them and get like a slightly different gameplay experience because they can
you 100%
levels of defense
100%.
And it's just like you can have this entirely different team.
I know something that for me really, really addicting too was that like unlike in Pokemon where like you run into the Pokemon, once you run into the Pokemon, if you bought enough balls and don't accidentally kill it, like you're gonna catch it. You're gonna catch it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. Yeah. Just bring enough balls. Don't kill it. You'll be fine. In this one, the way that you recruit Pokemon is you run into them, you defeat them. And it's just RNG. You might get lucky that when you defeat them, they'll be like, "Oh, I want to join your team." And dude, it's just so rewarding and so satisfying when it actually happens. Like, especially if you have a particular Pokemon, you're just like, "I want this person on my team so bad." You're just kind of like grinding out that dungeon, and every time you run into, you're like, And some Pokemon are more rare to get. Some are really easy to get. So. And then, yes, later during the game, you can, like, get certain items that increases your chances of getting them. But it's just amazing. I absolutely love the gameplay. The aspect of progression is so cool. One of my favorite things of this game is, like, what's a huge, very fun aspect of Pokemon is getting to level up your Pokemon and evolve them and have them go into different forms. You play the entire base game of this game with them, your Pokemon, in their stages that they're in, like in their primary stages or the stages that you recruit them in. It makes it super cool and special when you follow the story. I get why they did it, and I loved it. No, when I was a kid, like, I did not like it, but as an adult, I can now, like, appreciate and love so much how when you beat the game, you can evolve
and that's when
your
a whole
Pokemon.
other portion of the game just unlocks because you can really start building your team with the moves that you want them to, the stats that they want them to,
and you're not limited to only using or to 2 permanent party members being your first and your, like now. If you want to take a break from your best buddy, like you can just kind of like choose to have someone else. If you want to change and play as any other Pokemon, you can. You can have a completely different team of 4.
You can still teach them different TMs, HMs, and you can still teach them secret moves, like
and
the training moves.
Yeah, there's so many ways to edit your team, and it's so cool. You can the fact that there is a post game, a pretty good lengthy post game with harder dungeons and longer dungeons and harder bosses.
I think Explorers of Sky and Explorers of Time and Darkness have a better post story.
I do agree.
So that's why I need them to make a remake for that too. I need them.
So
Need
bad.
them. It's just I need
So
you.
bad.
If anyone out there, what's the I don't know who's making these games now.
I was gonna say Game Freak, but I'll be honest, I have no idea if it's Game Freak.
Anyone there somehow listening, just
do it.
Do it.
Just please do it.
Please make it.
We'll buy it. We'll make people buy it. It'll be fun.
Yeah. So that's
It'll be good.
that.
Okay. Perfect, beautiful, amazing. Why is it special to you? I mean, I know it's incredibly fun. I don't know if there's anything that makes it like, but this is why it's special to me.
The reason it's special to me is because I think it's the first real DS game that I
got into. Yes.
And it's my first real introduction to handheld
portable gaming.
So it's the first real game that I could take anywhere with me on the go and
anytime
be just as into it as if I was sitting down on my couch at home playing a PS2 game.
Yeah.
I just have different memories taking this game everywhere. I again didn't beat it until like I was just a little older.
Yeah. Just
a little bit. I think I didn't beat it for the first time until we actually moved to the US. So
that's fair.
Yeah, and it's special to me because it has some of the same core values that Kingdom Hearts has of just friendship. That it just reminds me of. So
no,
it's special to me.
So
it's just it's just so lovely. I'm transported to a little kid where my only worry is like I hope my mom makes me my favorite soup tonight or something. Like
I'm gonna have mac and cheese tonight just because you said that.
Oh, that's great.
I'm gonna treat myself some mac and cheese. Anyways, that's amazing. Camera's about to die. So, what else do you have to say about this beautiful game, Jabos?
The soundtrack. The absolute oh my god, journey of soundtrack. That's just like you can play certain songs right now and you will get a little teary out of me. It's just like they did nail that.
It's so memorable. They're all so great.
They are really good.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Very well made.
You will, if you play through this game, there's gonna be at least 1 or 2 dungeons where you're gonna fall in love with the track and be like, "This is popping." And you're just gonna find yourself humming it, and you're like, "Yeah, this is where it's at." So, amazing
job at transporting you into this world.
Yeah,
the soundtrack does that as well.
It does.
That's the last thing I have to say about it.
Perfect. Again, I feel like games like Final Fantasy do a really good job at that. This one also, since it's older, and to think about it, it's on the DS too. Like, there's only so much you can do musically. Mm-hmm. But it does it. It does it.
For anyone who's watching the screen, I mean, look, you can see they're about to kill this Voltorb here. Takes damage. Your teammate hit him. Don't get stunned here. One more hit, kill him. You're gonna get your experience points, and you can see level 6 on the second screen. You could go into your stats and check how far away you are from leveling up. So there's just a sort of like inspiration to keep going.
It's so good. Oh, look at those
apples.
Items. You hope it's a reviver seed right there. Like you want to get some good seeds.
Gummies with your IQ and getting abilities like that.
Which would be like your IVs in a regular Pokemon game. It's so amazing. It's so amazing.
It's got everything.
All right.
It's good.
All right.
My ratings.
What are your ratings?
What's your rating? I got scared.
You
got scared. I remember that. Okay. My ratings as a little kid. Honestly, as a little kid, like an 7.5 or an 8.
Like you liked it. It wasn't like
I was just like
my entire world. But you're like, this is good. Like this is a good game.
And now that I'm older, strong 9.
You just really appreciate this game. You just really appreciate this game.
It. I want more of this.
Oh my gosh!
And thankfully, they remastered Mystery Dungeon DX.
What bumps it up for you? Why is it that before it was like a 7-ish, 8-ish, and now it's a 9? What are some things you're like, these are things that I didn't appreciate before, but now I'm like,
I've grown to appreciate portable gaming's more and this type of gameplay style that is offered through those.
Okay,
so
fair. That's enough said.
That it's just become even better in my eyes. Like, now that I'm more appreciative of this,
that's perfect.
I enjoy it even more than when I was little.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay. So what is like a rating that you would like give it just in terms of like common gaming people population, like
gaming people population?
Probably realistically give it a.
I've heard a lot of people just give it like 6s and like 6.5.
Do you like? Yeah, that's kind of what you think.
Up there, but I would still stick with an 8 because I'm a very positive like. I enjoyed what I played, and even if I take nostalgia out of it, just give it its very real rating. Like, yeah, I would keep it at I would for myself keep it at a strong 8. Just a strong 8, maybe strong 7.5.
That's amazing. It's amazing that this game is so special to you that it is hard for you to be like, taking my own personal bias aside, I still just think it's a great game, and that's fair. That's fine. That's fine. That's perfect.
There's a lot of games that I
That's
play
perfect.
that other people are like, it sucks for this, it sucks for them. I'm like, what are you talking
Yeah,
about?
no,
So
that's the
just
beauty
me.
of it. That's the beauty of it. And then again, that's why I try to ask, like, taking away that angle of you and just trying to be more objective.
So if
that's okay.
Because even when I've listened to some of the reviews and some of the things that people
You
have
just
to
straight up
say,
don't
I'm
agree.
Like, I don't know if I agree with that.
And that is why that's okay. That's why I'm wondering. I was asking you.
Yeah.
All right. Next juego, which I believe. Do you have one more? Or you have two more games or one more game?
2 more total.
Perfect. So the last one is gonna be the one that you last played.
So right now, this is just one that I have to talk about.
You do really? That's 3 halves. Okay, so we're gonna keep going.
Good to keep
3,
going.
2, 1. What?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Mm-hmm. This one, I'm like,
never would have expected you to do this one.
yes, absolutely.
Get out of town. The Sims 2?
I just have to talk about it. I just have to talk.
Wow, that is so important.
About it.
That is so important. This is actually so important. All right, Jib.
Look at that.
Why?
This nostalgia burst.
Oh my gosh, it's just so nostalgic. And that's what I'm saying. There's so many games like this that I feel like aren't on the list. So it's just like, we actually really enjoyed that game.
We did.
Like, we really enjoyed it. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them that are like that we just don't really always think of, but it's like, I gotta talk about this.
Like,
when it
Midnight
comes to our
Club, I
childhood,
can't believe I forgot Midnight Club for a second there.
Exactly.
Like, whoa.
Exactly. Or like Dead Island was huge for us, and that's the one that, like, I don't know if it would have, if it wasn't for it coming out recently, like, we could have maybe forgotten about it. I don't know, but all right, Jib. It's gonna do your best to kind of explain what Sims is, you know, and then just why is this Sims special to you?
Okay, so The Sims. I mean, how else do I explain it other than a life simulator, right? Like, I mean,
that's all it is.
It really just
that's it.
is.
It's
what
a life
it is.
simulator.
It's a
Yeah.
life
Most
simulator.
gamers will probably know what it is,
But I think when I was little, what I enjoyed about it, is obviously
It's so goofy.
like it is so goofy. I used to just chuckle with it, but then at the same time, we used to take something about it kind of seriously.
Oh
and
yes,
take
it's like
these
we gotta make our
mannerisms into our
character.
life.
Yeah.
Even just some of our dancing, just.
Or the language.
Yes.
The Sims language.
And so obviously, yeah, I have just this memory of just being our little special game that you and I would play and kind of enjoy.
Yeah.
And I've never been able to really try or get into this type of game.
You should try it.
I should.
You should. I think you would enjoy it. The last Sims experience that I really enjoyed, and I just haven't tried it again, was Sims 3 on the PS3. I really had a good time with it.
Right.
And I think Sims just keep getting better and better. I think Sims 4 is... I think we own it for the PS4, actually, so...
Awesome.
Unfortunately, I think for us to play it, like, together, like, we can't do, like, kind of like how we could before. It was, like, couch co-op, like... That was what made this game amazing.
It is.
Being able to couch co-op Sims 2, man... Oh my gosh.
So
but anyways.
So what did I actually enjoy about this game, though, aside from our fun special memories? You know... It was the fact that there's, like, you can still choose your own thing and be yourself, I guess, almost, like, just have your own customization to it all.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I mean, you create your little family.
You create your own
whether you want it to be you or you want it to be someone else, like, you're creating a character that's going to live a life.
I guess I just really, really enjoyed having to take care of this character and try to keep everything on the greens. It just felt like a fun little challenge.
It was.
And my favorite aspect of the game was getting to a point where it's like, okay, now your sim went off to the job.
We're making money.
Your sim went off to the job and made money, so now I get this cooler looking shower.
Yeah, we get to
this
buy
cooler
new thing.
fridge and this bigger weightlifting rack.
Yeah, no, that's what it is.
Something so funny that I loved, like, about, like, I don't know. I found it so intriguing. Like, why the heck would the Grim Reaper just all of a sudden come around just sort of be chilling. And they're like, what the frick was about to happen? I never got my sim to get married to another character. I always wanted to, or I just didn't understand the gameplay mechanics of what happened then.
To like yeah.
I remember just always wanting to
I
start a
think I
new
did.
world, but I just never wanted to make the house. So I would always make the house.
Yeah,
You would kind of ask me like, "Does this look cool?" Is this
Which
not?
let me add in there. There's a couple different modes, but I remember in like Sims 2, my favorite thing to do was like you have pizza.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
I want pizza. Anyways, you could just start out. They had like a little like campaign or a little way that you could play where it's like they just kind of give you
like you literally
yeah.
that.
They give you a house with all of your essentials.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a little campaign to it. Gabe and I never did that. I honestly didn't even really know this was an option. I just remember the first time I played this when I was playing it with Gabe is we'd start off on a blank slate, all green, and we would just create the house, and it'd be like, all right, Jib,
It was just a
we gotta make some priorities
yeah.
here. Yeah, like what? Okay, we need a shower. We gotta get a fridge. We gotta get a toilet. And, like, I remember sometimes we would splurge and be like, all right, let's get the cheapest of our essentials, but let's get this, like, really cool-looking couch or something.
I remember I, for some reason, loved this interesting-looking shower that had 3 heads, like, one from the top and from the right and from the left, and it would just, I don't know, I imagine, like, a future where I have a cool shower like that, so...
It was so beautiful, but I remember having so much fun, and then little by little, as you and I played... Our house would start to look a little bit more homey, and it's like, oh, now we have it. We can add an extra room. Now we can add another this or that.
Yes.
Oh
yes, we would,
man,
it just felt like
so
progression.
It was
progression.
in
stuff
its
there,
final
like,
state.
You're right. Yeah, we started with no
finest
money.
state.
I don't know how we would make money without even having. So that's the first thing we would do. The first thing we would do when we started the game, get a job, and then we would just fast forward them leaving and then coming back, so that then we could come back and like, okay, literally, let's buy a bathtub now, and then finally, yeah. For any people who are, for the people who are watching, you can see the
there's a guy jumping on a
trampoline.
Yeah.
That wouldn't come till much later for us.
Oh yeah, no. This is a luxury. Having a trampoline is such a luxury. It's like no. We got so many other essentials we gotta get before we freaking buy a trampoline.
So the door, like you could choose what kind of door you wanted. And I don't know. That's just so cool because we could kind of choose what kind of vibe we wanted with this house. So
it was so cool.
I definitely like would have my sim meet another sim and they would woohoo and just sort of like,
woo. How old were you?
6.
I have no idea what that was. I know we were
that's right there. What we're seeing right now for the people we're seeing, they would just kind of come up out of nowhere and like, and then you just kind of make connections with these sims.
Slap, compliment, sock puppet.
I absolutely needed a radio because the music slapped as well. It just did.
I gotta listen to some music. I haven't heard Sims 2 music in a while, but I know
I have, and now that I go back and listen to it, it's like, oh, no way, this is actually good.
That's so funny.
Maybe it's not actually so good. Amazing. It's just I'm nostalgic to it.
That's amazing.
So it's just cool. It's just really, really cool.
And I don't remember. We never got this far in Sims 2 if it was even an option. I don't even know if it was an option. But like in Sims 3, I remember having a lot of fun because I remember doing like what I did with you. I kind of created my house. I kind of like create all my characters and I had like a little family and it was just kind of like, okay, these 2 Sims are gonna get together, these 2 Sims are gonna get together, and then it was like, you could actually have babies. So then it'd be like, they would have a baby, and then the baby would grow up to be a child, and then child would grow up to be an adult, and then you'd have to take care about
another Sim, yeah.
But it was really cool to kind of have that whole aspect of like, oh my gosh, aspect of progression was like, and that third Sim that became like a baby that eventually became an adult, I don't think you had to say what they looked like or what they kind of like. I don't remember honestly, but I don't think you did, or maybe you could change it later. I have no idea, but it was amazing. It was amazing, and I think I love that game so much because this and its game is a great game. I think we should definitely try getting back into the series.
Aspiration points. What was that? Yeah.
Now that you can understand it more and really like how to win at Sims. Yeah. Wow. Amazing.
That's something I would love to go back and do.
Amazing. What are your ratings of this nostalgic arse game?
So when I was little, I would give it a solid 7 because it's like I wanted to play this sometimes, a good amount of times with you, and sometimes if we didn't know what else to play, it was either this or Pikmin. So
oh my gosh, Pikmin.
It's just I have good memories with it.
Yeah.
And there's just certain things about it that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
And again, I think it would just be that sense of progression, that sense of I want to go to the next thing, and that sort of that sense of inspiration. It's like I can do whatever I want.
Literally,
that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I haven't played it since then. Still,
That's
to be
true.
honest,
So it can be
it's
harder,
hard
but,
to give it.
But looking at it from afar, like I mean, that's
I would
hard.
probably stick with about the same. Just.
So what? Like a.
I would probably still stick with a 7 or 7.5, just because like it's just a game that kind of still will bring me comfort, shape me. But I gotta talk about it. Like it is a very.
It's so crucial in our childhood.
It is a part of my childhood.
Mine too. Honestly,
sure.
Unfortunately, it got lost in the realm of my mind. But the moment I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so crucial to our childhood. We played this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
And then what? Yeah, what rating do I think
most people, I guess. And that's kind of hard for you to grasp, like how to do that. But
I do absolutely have no idea. I think that's got to be my answer. I don't know.
Perfect. That's
just
okay.
because I don't.
I would say
I don't fall
probably
too hard into this aspect of gaming.
At its time, for like Sims has always been huge.
Yeah.
If you're into The Sims at its time for like general, it's just hard. I haven't played enough of the genre. I know.
That's why I'm saying the same thing.
One of our old roommates, like he played a lot of Sims. And he had like different games that he had played on Sims. He was like, oh, this one's great because of this. This one's great because of that. So I'm also gonna be careful with the rating, but I would say like maybe not if you've played Sims games before. It's just such a particular genre. Like you're either gonna play and be like, yeah, like I'm into it or not. But I don't know. General overall rating, I would give it like at the time a 7.5, and if you try and play it now, like a 5.5, maybe a 6, I guess. Just because you could probably play the newest Sims and it'll be so much better. But something that this one has that I don't think the new ones have, couch co-op. Nothing can top that. So that actually puts this one up at like a 9 for both for me. Because you can't couch co-op the other ones, and it's all amazing. So, anyways, all right, moving on. All right. Well, this one, I unfortunately it already got spoiled for me, but that doesn't matter. I am still so excited for you to tell me about the last game that my brother Gabriel Rizzo played that really just left a mark.
And I'm looking at this gameplay right now, and I'm like, maybe now's not a bad time to go back and play some more.
All right, Jib, please tell the beautiful listeners what is the title of this game, what it's about, and why it's so good.
Cyberpunk 2077. Wow. Rock on, kid. Oh my
Rock on, kid? Why'd you say rock on, kid? What do you mean rock on, kid?
I'm trying to remember just some of these keywords.
Is it that good?
I'm trying to remember some of the keywords and some of the slangs that you hear that for some reason I'm just blanking out right now. Yeah. But like you'll find yourself like referencing to and like calling these people. Oh, I don't remember. Like people who really played it will know and remember. I'm just But like there's just this vibe, and that's why I said rock on game. But anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my god, where do I start? I did play this game when it's I didn't play this game at the beginning. I did not. No, so I am someone who got to go into this game with a fresh set of eyes when it was finally already fixed. Yeah. When all the bugs were fixed, and it's just
he didn't have that sour taste in his mouth that a lot of people
did. I did not. I heard about it. It's like, okay, whatever, that is a shame. But no, like when it came out, I wasn't feeling this type of game, so it took me a while to want to go and get into something like this. Yeah. So yeah, when it was my turn to get into it, thankfully I just had the most amazing experience. The game ran fine, and it is a game that there's been no other game that has sucked me into this world like this at this age. I just can't think of what other game. And I tried to play another one after this that I thought maybe would, and that was Horizon Zero Dawn, but I think I played it at the wrong time. I played it and it was like, this is great, but I'm not feeling this right now.
You know what this is for you, which would be for me? The Last of Us. it's a mature game with an amazing story that you could really enjoy as an adult. That is an absolute masterpiece.
Yeah. But it's
And
also...
I just think, like, this is, like, I know I'm going to play this
Arasaka,
game, and it's going to be amazing. I'm just not... I haven't played it yet.
It's just truly, like... But it's not just, like, the story game. It's so Far Cry-like, where there is this amazing story, but you got your character that you can build when it comes to these abilities. But...
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm thinking specifically of Far Cry 3 here.
Yeah,
I played 4, 5, and 6. My favorite one is still 3.
Yeah.
But Far Cry 3, what I mean by it's like Far Cry 3, it's like you have this world that you're sucked into and this story,
yeah,
and you have this progression where every...
By the way, there's no heavy spoilers right now showing, right?
Sorta, but no. But like, if anyone's watching this and they've never played the game, they don't understand what the crap is going on. Fair. They won't understand.
Anyway,
so yeah, you won't understand what the heck's going on because it is a nice, deep enough story that you can see it. It's like, what is even going on?
Anyways,
so look, you can just see right now. You found money. You got he just found this money. The money got transferred. You can either hack into things or just brute force your way through them. But let me go back to what I was saying. It's like Far Cry.
Bring it back to the top.
It's like Far Cry where you play the story, and as you're playing through the story, every enemy you kill, you get experience. You got your health bar, like Dead Island, where the more you level up, the more your health bar goes up.
Amazing.
But then you can even put on armor that increases your health bar more, or if not, equip abilities that will increase your health bar even more. And it will make a noticeable, impactful difference what build you decide to go for. Far Cry, you only get basically one path. Like you can just max out. You're just gonna max out your character, and that's it. Here, nah. You got 1, 2.
Like you have to choose
the path. You got 4
right?
or 5 different character builds that you can choose to play from, like Borderlands. But like the difference here, it's like you're V. You're the main character. Your name is V. And you just get to choose what path you want V to go down. I don't know what other game does that. Like I'm sure you can think of one, but it's like so you can choose for V to go down.
Are you talking more so like that's what you mean. Gameplay wise?
Yeah, gameplay wise you can choose gameplay wise and how you play.
Kind of like a Skyrim type thing. Like,
exactly. You can choose for V to be just a gunner. You can choose for V to be a hacker and like do all these cool abilities where you kind of hack into this camera and you see the room and you can like zap people because make their
a lot of freedom with the way
whether
that
you want to be a run and gun, a sneak assassin, or a run an assassin. Like
that's so cool.
That was what I did.
So
I
cool.
I dumped so many skill points into being a tank and having so much health, and the rest of my skill points into being an assassin with a samurai.
A melee.
So for anyone that like has played through the story. Oh, why am I blanking out on his name right now? I just thought of his name like earlier today.
Earlier today.
Literally like earlier today. What's his name?
What is your name? Ezekiel.
I killed Adam Smasher with a sword, and it was amazing. It was amazing.
Don't know what that means.
Amazing.
Don't know what that means. This is a spoiler.
Forget that. You're not gonna play that game for a while. Forget it. And for anyone that
I hope there isn't someone who's playing it right now, and that was just a spoiler.
Shoot. Maybe I should
Maybe
I just. Fine. I'll just say I killed the final like bad guy of the game with a sword. And
now we know you can kill the final bad guy in the game and then he doesn't win.
No, because you don't know. Oh no, that's not true at all.
What if I would have been playing the game and being like, I wonder, but now I know I get to kill the bad guy at the end of the game.
I'm sorry about that. Well, no, because it's what I can say is like
there's so many other amazing
I'm saying
reasons.
No. What I'm trying to say here is that's the final boss, but I don't want to spoil anything. Like that's. It's only the final boss here.
A little bit spoiled is that
it's just
you
the
can
name
kill
of the final. So sorry about that. Yes.
Because anyway, it doesn't matter. I personally I am so excited to play this game. It doesn't matter that got spoiled. I know I'm gonna love everything.
So that's part. Yeah, you can run attack, and then you can either go into. Oh my God! Let me get into cyber mods. Just basically, it's kind of like cosmetic surgery, but you start to implement technology into your body, and that's what's gonna give you the double jump or the super jump. That's what's gonna give you the increased sprinting speed. That's what's gonna give you the increased reloading speed. That's what's gonna yes, your abilities, but also this.
Wow.
Like you can either choose like for your shoulder piece to just give you more armor, or a shoulder piece that's
Are those changes more permanent? Or no.
They're completely interchangeable depending on what build you want. So you're gonna
builds permanent, or like that
you can
I just want to change.
Yes and no. Okay, so because you got 3 different ways to give yourself abilities here. First is your skill tree, and those are the ones.
Can you respec your skill tree?
You can respec half of your skill tree. What do I mean?
I have no idea what that means.
You have your skill tree. Okay, let's say you have this tree of different paths that you can go down. You're gonna get 2 types of skill points. One that becomes an attribute, and one that becomes a skill.
So one that's more permanent, and one that you can respec.
So, for example, you're gonna get. I don't remember what the level cap is. I think the level cap is. I don't remember what it is. But whatever the level cap is, I think it's 40 or 50.
Okay. Anyways,
each attribute, if you want to go down the health, down the tank attribute, you're gonna have to put a skill point into it to level up your tank class. Because you need to have a certain level. You need to have a certain amount of attributes put into that class in order for them to put the skill point into it. So, it's basically like you need to be level 18, or you need to have 18 skill points into this attribute to be able to put the secondary skill point. So each level, each time you level up, you get a blue skill point and a yellow skill point. The blue one is for your attribute, and the yellow one is for whatever skill that you want to put into that tree or another tree.
Okay, that makes sense.
So those are going to be the ones that are the yellow ones. The second one that you're always going to get, those are going to be interchangeable, because it's like, okay, I leveled up to level 18, and I'm leveling up these 2 classes at the same time. Do I want to put the blue one into the tank one, or do I want to put the blue one into my assassin one? That's the one that you're not going to be able to take back, and you're going to have to make a new game for that. But the yellow one, you can choose.
That's crazy.
Whether those are the yellow ones are always going to be.
I don't mind a little bit of permanence, because it's like it adds some weight to your choices.
This hacking that you're doing right now, that's another skill path that you can go down, which is like
or completely ignore. Like it's kind of like
ignore to make your life easier. Did you? I started a playthrough where I'm getting into it. It's just not my preferred playstyle choice, but it's interesting enough.
Still fun.
That I started it and I got a couple of hours into it, and then I just didn't follow through because I was already my 3rd playthrough.
Third playthrough that I started. So you played it twice.
I played it once, and I played it twice for like I got halfway through everything in the 2nd playthrough, and then I just started a 3rd playthrough. So. And as you can see right now, like you see an enemy, they got a health bar. You can see like the damage that you do, and like you do different amounts of damage with different guns depending on how much skill tree, like how many attributes you've put into
that skill tree. Yeah.
So yeah, you got a headshot with that pistol, but you could do like 3 times the amount of damage if you change to an LMG and maybe shoot him with that.
That's so crazy.
Or like 6 times the amount of damage if you just stab him and slice him in half with your sword.
This sounds so.
It is.
Cool.
It is addicting. It is fantastic. And then on top of this gameplay loop,
that's what I was gonna say.
Story.
That's what I was gonna say.
A story.
Is the story good? Without spoiling, is the story good?
For me personally, someone who I don't know, I'm not like this huge film person, and I don't know what's a good or a bad story. It's a good.
No, it doesn't matter.
It's a good, memorable story.
I'm asking you. No, I'm asking you. This isn't like
absolutely.
I'm asking you
it's not the best.
Did you enjoy the story?
Yes.
Did you love the story?
Yes, and a lot. Because
it's amazing.
You get what you put into this game. You get out of it what you put into it.
Like how much you choose to immerse yourself in learning about the world.
Because there's all these side missions, and there are these sort of side factions that you can go down and level up this path. Yeah. That by the end of the game, if you've leveled up enough with this faction, you can choose 3 different endings, 3 different endings.
Based off of what you chose to,
Or if you decided to level up all of these factions, or not. So you're going to meet all these different characters from all these different factions that you're going to grow to love. Yeah. Some of them you're going to mourn, some of them you're going to... So it's just... It's great. And then the end of the story comes, and it's a culmination of everything. And if you decide to have all these conversations, you I got invested into my girlfriend in this game. I got invested. I missed her for a while after I beat the game. I was like, oh, I just want to meet I just want to meet Pan Am in real life. Like, it's just, I did.
That's amazing. That's
So yeah, it is a really good story as well.
Right.
So it's
you've sold me, Jim.
It's a game that
you
it's
have
like
sold me.
And I remember playing for this, what we're seeing right now. So it is a very, very well made game because you're also, it's a big open world, open map.
Yeah.
And it's like Borderlands. It's like other things where you're gonna just be exploring the map and shoot me in the face. Like you're gonna come across the most randomest things that it's just gonna like. It's a really effed up dark world.
Yeah.
That has these beautiful moments that show you like humanity's amazing.
Yeah.
But it just shows like how certain things, if we're not careful with technology, where we could go down. So it's so sick. It's amazing. It's amazing. Great. 10 out of 10.
I am so
10 out of 10. For me. It's just for me, yeah.
Anyway. On all your ratings, on all 3 of them?
Yeah, I mean, I played it then, and I'm going to play it now, so it's 10 out of 10. And then what rating would the world give it? I mean, I think the world would give it a solid, a strong 8.25.
8.25.
Strong 8.25. Now that it's fixed. And then the people who are going to remain bitter are still going to give it a 5 or a 6. So.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate for them because it could have been a really fun experience.
Like, you can just...
Wow, Jib. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love this. This was amazing. I love that you love this game so much.
I'm seeing it and I'm like, I want to go and play it right now.
Like, I want to ask more questions, but I don't feel the need because I know what to expect and what's going to be so fun about this game. Like, it's not like I have to be like, oh, what about this? What about that? Like, no, I hear you. I know exactly what's going to be so fun about it. I am
you're burned right now. You got a status effect. You can level up whether you're more resistant to status effects or you are just completely
Of course, it's that freedom of choice to be able to really make the character that you want and say, okay, that was amazing. Now I want to do a playthrough right now again and have a completely different path, which is basically what we ended up doing. So
I'm feeling it because
and
amazing, then to complement all of this, an anime.
An
anime that adds to the world,
which you loved,
which I loved.
So it was great anime.
Most other people loved.
I heard as a standalone, it's just a great anime.
It is. It's a standalone. It's a great anime, and then if you play this first, it just adds to the lore of the world in a certain way that's just so good. So cool. And it's just like, oh my god.
Is there any last little thing that you want to share about why this game is like cool or special to you? Any last little thing? Or is that pretty much good?
It's just growing up and not having played so many games, I have higher standards to be impressed.
And this one did that. It went the extra mile above to really just impress you.
Absolutely.
Amazing, Jib. Amazing. Wow. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for sharing these thoughts, these feelings, and just talking about games, Jib. Just talking about games. Did you have a good time?
Oh, an amazing time.
Great. So now, lastly, to end it, hit me with some honorable mentions, like in the same way, like it was like Midnight Club, that was one of them. Like just honorable mentions that you're like, if I ever come back, these are probably some games I want to talk about it on.
Hot Wheels for the DS, Need for Speed Pro Street for the DS.
These are all car games too.
And it's gonna be Need for Speed was born in 2012 as well. And Final Fantasy X a little bit. Certain things about it that I would like to talk about it. But let me really
It's okay. Sort of I think that's fair. That's fair. That's a fair list. We'll definitely look into it. Because I think a lot of those we'll have to make like a car special podcast.
Maybe
because a lot of those are just car games, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But wow, thank you so much, Jib, for doing this. This was awesome. This is gonna be one of the last podcasts I do at least for the next couple of weeks. We're actually going to Mexico in about a week now. We're going to be gone for 2 weeks. So, thank you so much for being a part of the podcast, Jib. I had a great time. Again, you are a very special, unique, different guest because the level that I know, I kind of know your gaming journey. And it's just so cool and special to be able to see you talk about these games and just, I don't know, I get it. I feel it. And again, If there was ever going to be a person that was going to be major overlapping games, it was going to be you. And there is. There definitely is.
Mario Party. That's
Mario Party,
anyway.
another one. What, after we've talked about it and you've reminisced on all these games and kind of like what they mean to you and all that, like, do you have anything else that you want to say to, like, all the gamers out there, like, as to, like, why games, again, are important to you, or, like, why it's special to you? If there's anything new. If it's still that, you know, just, like, they're your safe place, and in some ways they've honestly, like, impacted you as just who you are as a person, who you strive to be as. Or is there more?
Nah, I would just say just keep gaming.
Just keep gaming. Absolutely amazing.
Embrace that side of yourself. I'm happy to have grown up in the generation where it went from being a nerdy thing when I was like 4 or 5 years old to this weird transition in middle school where it kind of started to become more mainstream, and now it's just mainstream.
Yeah, game is totally normal. It's like it's chill.
Oh, yeah,
kind of like anime. Like when you were younger, like anime was like so
you
like
cartoons.
Yeah, it was just people judging so hard. But nowadays,
it's been amazing to see.
Now it is to be a kid. Like if you like anime, they're like, yeah, anime's so cool, which is awesome. So that's amazing. Wow. Well, once again, Jib, thank you so much for being here. If y'all enjoyed the video, y'all enjoyed the podcast. If you're listening to this on any other platform, yeah. On YouTube, don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment, and talk about any kind of thing that you want to say about this podcast. If you're watching this or listening to this on Spotify, Apple, whatever it may be, do whatever you got to do to help, you know, maybe give me a good rating or whatever to help push this podcast. At the end of the day, we're all gamers. Video games are important to us, and we're just here to talk about what makes them so amazing and why they're important to us, how they might have influenced our lives. If you are interested and you'd like to be a part of the gaming podcast, down in the description and this video, you can join Discord, shoot me a little DM, or just comment down below. And we can see about getting in contact. So thank you all so much for watching. Once again, thank you for being here, Jib. I'm so grateful. This was a lot of fun.
No, that was amazing.
Before I end it, I'm actually gonna give you the honors, Jib. Any last thing that you want to say to the beautiful viewers? Just sign us off.
Toodaloo.